Hi everybody, hope you're having a good week. I'm going to talk about people being open-hearted or closed-hearted. It's actually quite an energetic session today, talking about it from an energy point of view. There are people in our world who are very open-hearted. That means the heart chakra is very open, and they will be open-hearted. You will feel it. So when you speak to them, there's an openness. Often they're empaths and people who are very compassionate and tolerant. And you will find that they often are people in your life who you will go to when you want support or to be nourished. These are people who don't withhold love. They just give love unconditionally, I think. And if you're lucky enough to have some of these people in your life, you're really blessed. Being open-hearted means that the heart chakra is actually really open. It's very, very big. And whenever I check these people with my pendulum, they'll have all the chakras open, of course, if they're lucky, and then you'll go and check the heart chakra, and it will be like massive. I'll check it with my pendulum, and it'll be like almost, sometimes 2 times as large as the other chakras, which means that these people have huge capacity to love and to give love. And energetically, it means that that chakra is very, very active. It's a very active chakra. And many people who've had this chakra have done some great work in the world. Mother Teresa would have had it. I think Princess Di had it. You'll look around the world and you can feel and see that compassion. And our religious leaders and people who've come down here to make changes, to make the world a better place, will have this very big heart chakra. I call these people open-hearted. You can feel the openness, you can feel the love just pouring out of their heart chakra, really. And energetically, that's what's happening. They usually have a lot of love in their aura and can access love quite easily from the other side. And they bring it in and then they just pour it out. So everywhere they go, they have this love. The difference between that and the closed-hearted ones is around the heart chakra. So someone who's closed-hearted will have a much smaller heart chakra. It won't be spinning as big and it'll be guarded. There are reasons people are closed-hearted. Some of them are genetic. They're genetically like someone else in the family who wasn't particularly loving. Sometimes it's because they were hurt or they suffered trauma and they interpreted that to mean they had to guard themselves, so they put a protection around their heart and maybe minimised it. I've actually seen the energetic protection around the heart. With some people, it just looked like they had a big galvanised iron fence over them. Other people, they had like an open lattice, like a grid over the heart to protect it. Other people had just closed it. You could see that they just closed it, so there wasn't much entry to the heart chakra. Being closed-hearted isn't actually very good for you energetically in your aura, because it means that the energy can't come and flow in and out, and you'll probably land up having some health issues there around your heart or chest. You can actually open your heart chakra up, I always see it like a big flower. So if you want to open up your heart chakra to become more open-hearted and also help clear any blocks there, you just do visualization. I always open it just like a flower and open it up right, so it's right flat back, and then I'll push lots of love out of it so you can open up the heart chakra. Closed-hearted people are hard to be with because you can feel the guardedness and you can feel that there's not much nourishment or love coming out of their heart chakra. Often they will also be into power and control, and they can withhold. So they might love you, but they won't give it to you. They just hold on to it like a little power thing. There's not much you can do except, I think, send them a lot of love. Those are the people that we need to be sending love to. I send it directly to their heart chakra, and then they can or cannot use it. Energetically, you'll be a difference when you sit together. In relationships with these people, I've always found that it's pretty one way. It's like going from me to them. At the beginning, I didn't realise that, but later on, energetically, I realised there's an imbalance, that it's all flowing from me to them, and there's not much flow back. I've made a conscious decision that in my inner circle, I want to have people where the flow is going backwards and forwards. And I actually am more comfortable with open-hearted people because I find they are much more kind, more loving, more compassionate, more tolerant, and definitely more forgiving. And the heart chakra can actually open and close. Sometimes they will be going through a very tough time and they will close down somewhat, but later on as they heal, it opens more and they allow more light and love to come into that area. There's not a lot of light flowing out either. Like energetically, you won't feel it. It won't be a big expanse of love coming your way. Just maybe a little trickle. I find they're fairly, close-hearted people are fairly close-hearted in terms of how giving they are as well. They're not so good at paying for their round of drinks, or you might get a fairly meagre present for your birthday while you've gone and spent a great deal on them. And they're the indications for you that they're quite closed-hearted. They'll also be intolerant of other people. Quite often they won't want to see the other person's point of view and have very strong black and white views on life and people and how it should be, and right and wrong. And this is indicative of not being as open-hearted. I really love open-hearted people. I find them very comfortable to be with and they resonate with me. I find closed-hearted people a little stifling to be with. It's sort of like hitting, for me, an energetic wall. And there is a little bit of an energetic wall there with some of them. You'll feel it. You'll feel the reticence to be loving or kind, or the uncomfortableness with it. Often they also have trouble with physical touch. They're not people who are great huggers and kissers and hold your hand people. Sometimes they're a bit reserved in that area, and that's also an indication for you. Energetically, the difference is quite vast. They don't have to be open-hearted if they don't want to be, but if you love them and you care about them, you can keep sending love to their heart and sending light to their heart and sending pink to their heart. And that actually gives them a choice to open up and be more open-hearted, because their life will actually be happier. Because the more open-hearted you are, the happier in many ways your life will be, because it's a giving life, it's a service life. And I think we are really happiest when we're giving and serving. That's one of the things that humans tend to miss. Our society is all about getting and having and the best car and the nicest dress, etc., etc. However, they're very transient pleasures, and once you've had them and got over them, they don't feed you much. Whereas giving and doing things for other people is actually very nourishing for your soul and nourishing for you. Look around at the people you're with in your family and friends, and then at work. You might even want to do a little list of who you think's open-hearted and closed-hearted, and that will help you understand things a lot better. If you're with a partner who's closed-hearted and you're open-hearted, I suspect you already know that, but just send more love to their heart. I do believe that people who are closed-hearted lack love. They might have been given it and they can't either access it or they don't know how to access it. So sending them love all the time to their heart is very good, and it's also good for their actual heart around that area, on that energetic level, because that will physically change their heart. This is why I think people die of a broken heart. I think the heart closes down and it doesn't get nourished energetically, and eventually they just pass because their heart is closed, their heart chakra is closed. The heart chakra is actually very, very important because it's where we do most of our relationships from. It's a very powerful chakra, and when it's not open and working well, it will affect all our relationships to certain degrees. The reason I think people like pets is because their heart chakras are usually pretty big and open. They don't have as many issues as us, I think. And so they're loving and kind regardless, and the love is unconditional. And I think that's also why people are drawn to having pets. Look around in your life, see who's who, and then also work on yourself by opening up your heart every night. I open mine, and if I'm going to be with someone who's close-hearted, I'll actually open my heart up a lot more before I meet them. If you feel you need to have protection, of course you can do that, but I feel these people probably need more love than the open-hearted people in some ways. Have a good open-hearted week and enjoy giving and loving and spreading the love and the light. That's how I see it. You just spread it all over the place. That's what we're really here to do. And if they don't give it back, it's okay, because every action does have a reaction. And if you're feeding their heart chakra, that can only be a good thing. So I'm sending you lots of love and light and lots to your heart chakra.